Hello, everyone. A very warm welcome to another episode of Psychology Talks. And as you know, that this is the Algorithm of Life series, and in this episode, I invite people who have taken charge of their lives and they actually wrote their own destiny. So in this episode, we discuss that how you can become the author of your life. You can actually take charge of your destiny and steer your life as per your own desire, not as like whatever it is given to you. Because a lot of time I've seen that people are given a destiny, or they have some lot of expectation from their own selves and desire to to do some outstanding work or outshine, but they tend to actually live on an autopilot mode, and then somehow they miss the opportunity. So today we discuss that how you can actually break that autopilot mode and steer your life as you want. And that's why I've invited our guest today who has taken charge of his destiny. He is Preston Weeks. He's the co-founder of Formula EQ. He started his career in the automotive sector, and he turned around like a $1,600 car into a 50 million per year empire sector or industry. So he will share his secret about that, how he turned around life. And he's also the best-selling author, and he is on the mission to empower people to help them succeed in their life. So let's welcome Preston. Thank you so much, Preston, for joining us today.
Thank you, Ambreen. It's great to be here with you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. It's an honor to have you here today with us. And as I just gave the introduction, a little bit of introduction about you, but just tell our audience about your journey today, that how you actually move into this career and how you actually turn around that $1,600 car into 50 million per year empire. So
Yeah, absolutely. No, I'd love to. So, we all have a journey, right? We all have this journey in life. And I was on mine and I was trying to figure out how to get through college. I actually decided there was one point where I decided I wanted to go. And I'd gone back and forth about if I should go or not. But I came to that decision myself. And so I thought, now I got to pay for it. How do I have to pay for school? So it started from there, and I bought my first car. I go, okay, I love cars. I've loved cars ever since I was a little kid. I loved cars. So I would drive around in my dad's, car, and I'd sit on the, middle bump back when they didn't care when kids were in car seats in the United States, and you could ride anywhere in the car. And but I could name as a 2-year-old at like 2.5 years old, I could name every oncoming car that I'd see down the road. And so that, kind of was a passion my whole life. And so I took that passion and I was like trying to figure out how to pay for school. So I bought a car, and I got my first car I got 10 minutes out of the auction and the car overheated. And I bought it for $1,600. I had all my money into it, and I didn't even have enough money to tow the car home, or else I would have lost all my margins. So it took me 5 hours to get home, and I just, got like 5 minutes down the road, and I'd wait for it to cool down. But I kept believing in myself, and I kept doing it, and I kept doing it, and I kept learning. And I was doing something that I love too. I love the cars. So that helped me through it. And I ended up reinvesting in myself, and I got 2 cars, and I got 10 cars, and then I got a car dealership, and I got 2 car dealerships. And it just kept growing and growing from there. And I ended up owning and co-owning 15 different car dealerships and multiple verticals that had finance and paint company, all these different things. But that was just part of my journey. So that was part of my journey because I thought I had actually discovered my final end all thing, because I loved cars. Actually, I loved cars. That was one of my favorite hobbies. But what I learned as a business owner, what I learned as an entrepreneur through my car building journey was that my passion, what was actually my real alignment, was helping people. I loved helping people. And even though I love cars and I still love cars today, who I am at my core is someone that loves to help people. And so I realized that kind of in the middle of my car journey. And because it became a point for me where I wasn't caring actually about doing things and limiting and making things narrow to increase my margins. I actually wanted to create opportunity for my community. I wanted to provide jobs. I wanted to help people. I wanted to make a difference in people's lives. And so fast forwarding, that evolution, that really grounded who I was internally. At that point, I was in alignment with myself, but I realized I actually didn't need the car business at that point. And so I turned cars. I had a job offer from a guy named Mark Victor Hansen, who wanted me to come as the chief operating officer for a renewable energy company. And I left the car business, I exited, joined Mark, and then just got into a whole slew of companies and things from there that have really all hubbed around making the world a better place and building the power of people, at the core. So now my evolution, like you said in my intro, is, I've written books. I've partnered with Mark. Mark's number one selling author in the world, 59 number one times New York bestsellers, and over 500 million books sold. So he's made a really incredible impact. But now he's been my mentor. I've worked under him and learned under him, but now I'm creating my own impact in the world. So the evolution to today and the full alignment of me being in alignment with myself is I run an academy called formulaeq.com. EQ is where we teach the emotional intelligence, the emotional quotient. So we teach people how to be powerful people from the core. So rewinding back to what I said earlier, I was building the car dealerships, but really I loved helping people. So now I'm in full alignment with myself, and life's better than ever. Life's more beautiful than ever. I get to work with amazing people and meet amazing people like you, Ambreen, all over the world. And it's just absolutely incredible. And it's because I was true to myself. It's because I recognized that. And that's what allowed me to start my journey into what I've been able to build today now. So
Yeah, it's like very inspiring journey that you had, like, from starting from just a single car, and which actually broke right after you bought it. So but turning into an amazing like empire, and then like your entire journey to then moving into helping people. It's really an inspiring, like I would say, it is an inspiration for a lot of people to actually follow through. But or like along the way, like, a lot of people get into uh, or get stuck in their life. For example, as you said that, you had passion for the cars, right? So a lot of people, like what I have seen, is that they follow their passion, but again they might not have the alignment, as you said, that because you actually you had the passion for the car, but the higher level was to help people. So how to get that alignment? Because a lot of people don't have the ability to actually recognize that that's sort of the higher capacity or the intentions to help people. They may have some desire to help people, but they're stuck in the lower level of passion, which, as you mentioned, that it was
yep.
for your cars, or maybe like for other people could be something else. So how to actually recognize that sort of an alignment with our own
Yeah.
self? Yeah.
I love that question. This is a good question because it's a differentiator, and I don't think anyone's ever asked me this question. So I love answering it because I love getting new questions because I love new thought. But what it is the difference between the human experience and the things that people think they like. And so a lot of times, we attach ourselves to things. So we go, oh, I want a big house. I want a lot of money. I want whatever people want. I want to be able to go do this, or I want to be able to, drive a Mercedes, or I want to be a member of this club. And those are things. And a lot of times what happens is we make our decisions because, well, oh, I like those things. And those things are what I want. And then you think, oh yeah, well, I like those things, I want those things, so yeah, I'm in alignment with myself, right? But it's wrong. It's actually confusing, and it can be misleading, because even though you like that, it's not actually alignment with yourself. And where you separate the things and go down to the core of what's human. So the human experience doesn't matter, where you are in the world, doesn't matter what you believe, doesn't matter where you come from, doesn't matter, anything, your income level, anything like that. The human experience is the exact same for every single human, and we all go through these feelings. And so instead of going for the things, focus on the feelings. So you go, okay, how do I feel when I'm in this type of environment? How do I feel internally when I do this type of work? Do I feel like I'm trying to get something done so I can get my money? Or do I feel like I'm so excited in what I'm doing, I can't wait to wake up tomorrow? Because now it's a long weekend and I don't get to do what I do until Tuesday. And so I'm going to miss all the people I can go help and support, in my life. And when you can focus on how what you do makes you feel,
Yeah.
then you can actually remove the confusion of the things, the stuff. Oh, I want to make enough money to get a new phone or whatever. Like these things that people, and that's a distraction. And so, people really need to separate the things and the feeling. And I think that's one of the easiest tools that I could throw out there that people can use to help to find their personal alignment without having to do coaching sessions. So,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's wonderful, actually, answer. And uh, I think you rightly pointed out that each one of us have this sort of the desire to help people, and this is something I would say that when we achieve that level, basically, then we feel more satisfied with ourselves. But then again, a lot of people are stuck in a lot of lower levels of the lower hierarchy level, where people are stuck in just getting money, or in just getting titles, or just getting fame. So, like, I think when you're stuck in that at that level, you will never be able to get that level of satisfaction. The only level of satisfaction that you can achieve is by growing up and up. And then when you think of creating an impact beyond your interest level. For example, if you want to create an impact in the world, you need to think beyond your self interest. And I think that is when we can actually realize our true potential, when we think beyond our self interest. And that's exactly, I think that's when it comes, when the personal alignment comes.
yeah.
As you said, that a lot of people are actually stuck at the lower hierarchy level.
Yeah.
So, and that's why it is important to actually realize that level, because when you realize that level, where you achieve that level, um, you also become more powerful, because that's how you become, all the alignment comes, like soul, mind, body, everything like would work in one direction. It wouldn't work in different direction, because, like, as I feel that our soul wants something more than just to satisfy our physical pleasures of the life. So I think that's you gave a wonderful answer to this the question. So
Thank you. One thing
yeah.
too, I want to add on to what you said there, because you said the level of satisfaction, and I love the way you said that, because when you look at these titles or these things like you're talking about, like what is a title? It's something someone else is like giving, it's something that's based off of someone else's thought. It's based off someone else's perspective. And you getting that title doesn't change you. It just changes someone else's perspective of you. So the satisfaction is actually not internal. It's someone else. It's someone else's
Yeah.
agenda. Where when you really have alignment with yourself, it's not external. It's uh it's something coming from you. You don't want to be someone else. You want to be you. And when and so you have the external stuff, and then you have the you, and you that's kind of the foundation. You have to be powerful first, and have that foundation built strong around you, and your self-belief and even self-love. You got to appreciate yourself so much and love yourself that that then you can actually be powerful to go serve others powerfully. Because when people don't aren't in alignment with themselves, and they don't love themselves, they don't appreciate themselves, they're not doing it for themselves, out of alignment, then it's kind of like they're masking what they're doing. So it's the act. So like it's those people that like serve a lot, like they're really kind people, but like they don't do anything for themselves, and they go through a lot of personal pain, because that, and they're really great people, but they have a limit, where if they can love themselves and serve other people, then you're in alignment, and you can serve powerfully. Then you have these crazy amazing people that like change the world, like a Oprah or something,
Yeah.
where it's like, she's like unstoppable because no one changed her, because she loves herself. That she didn't care about anyone else. So she's a powerful person herself, and so no one can stop her. So she can go and create change unstoppably because they're in alignment. So it's that progression. It's that building, you know, that starts inside, that
Yeah.
allows you to be someone that's bigger than yourself. And I like to say service is the access point of living a life bigger than yourself.
Yeah, that's so amazing. It's really a powerful verse. So now, actually, moving uh, to the discussion, and like as you said that like your journey, like you started from the one single car and something. Like a lot of people are stuck in those times when things go wrong, and so at that time, what exactly do you think are the requirement for the people to actually stay in charge of the life? Because a lot of people feel the pressure and then they go into the flow and they lose it. But
Mhm.
it's very important to stay calm and be in charge of the life. So, what do you think? How to actually stay in charge at that
Yeah,
time?
one simple tool I can give people to help people stay in charge of their life is to live in the now. So too many people confuse life, and they actually make stuff up that's not happening. So we lie to ourselves. Yeah, and so, but we let that change the way we act right now. And so I'll give you an example. I mean, so like maybe in school when you were a kid or something, someone made fun of you, when you went up in front of the class and you're reading, in front of a piece of paper, and you kind of screwed up, and the kids laughed at you, and so like that really hurt your feelings, and so you developed like a thing. It's saying like, oh, I don't like talking in front of people. It's scary, and I'm not very good at it, and you actually carried that with you. So that's in the past, right? So that happened in the past. We let things like that, that's an example. It could be anything in the world. It could be, oh, my parents told me I'm this, oh, I'm supposed to be this, oh, I'm whatever it is. Anything, your story, take it in the past, bring it today, and you go, well, I can't do that because I'm not that type of person. That's stopping you. The past beliefs are stopping you from actually clearing a space to be able to think and create in the now, in the present, in alignment with yourself, not taking things from the past and letting them change who you are right now, and also the future. So it's the other way we do in the future. So, we take worry, we take fear, we take doubt, we go, oh yeah, I want to start a business, but like, I couldn't get the capital to do it. I couldn't do it. No one's gonna care about what I say, or whatever. And then we don't do anything today, and it changes who we should be. We're not in alignment with ourselves. We're not acting who we should be. We're tricking ourselves because we're letting the future that's not real, it's not actually happening,
Yeah.
affect what we can do right now. And so, if we can grasp onto what we do right now and operate in the now. And when we have things that come to us from the past or from the future, go, oh, you shouldn't do that. Question it, reevaluate it, and go, maybe I could do it. Should I do it? And then you can check with your alignment, and then you go, okay, is this something? If I accomplish that, how would I feel? How would
Yeah.
I feel inside? How would I feel as a person when I hit that goal? I feel pretty good. Okay, yeah, I think I'm in alignment with that. I should do
Yeah.
that. Maybe I screwed up as a speaker when I was a little kid, but I think I could do it today. I'm going to try. I'm going to be an amazing speaker today. And so we can change that. And that's how, we can remove these things that confuse us, these lies that we literally tell ourselves, and we bring them into today and we accept them as a reality, but it's not. And we can rewrite our destiny, because we don't actually have to accept that, and we can find that alignment with ourselves and start to rewrite our future.
Yeah, that's absolutely brilliant. And as in my personal belief, or I actually written in the book as well, basically one basic way to actually this is exactly what you said. It's the same thing that that is, of course, my belief is that, when you actually be in the alignment, and when you realize that what you want in life, that is exactly happen. That's how you can stay in charge of the life. uh, Excuse me. And the thing is that a lot of people actually don't realize what they want in their life, and that's when the problem happens. uh, Things go wrong, and then, as you said, the past belief uh, may haunt them to actually and stop them from following what they want. So the thing is that one person or anyone like who wants to be in charge of the life, they need to have certain purpose in the life, that what actually they want out of life. It's not only just that, um, the simple goal, like, a lot of people, it's the society that gives the goal, like, uh, get a job and then have family, and then this is okay. This is one thing, that these are the goals that are given by the society. But as you mentioned, that you need to find out your personal alignment, what actually you want in life, and then follow that goal. And that is when you are dedicated to your goal or to your purpose, then definitely the entire universe, like, conspires you. As Paulo Coelho said, that whatever you want in life, the entire universe conspires you to actually give that to you in life. So
Mhm.
that's wonderfully defined. There's a question for you from Shelmy. It's what contributed to you wanting to serve others? Did your upbringing have anything to do with it?
That's a good question. What contributed? I mean, it's definitely something I've always felt really connected with people. My personal thought process, I've really, ever since I was like a kid, I've been incredibly fascinated with how people think, how thought actually shows up in the world. And I don't know, because of that, I think I've always had a really, really deep connection with people. And I've always been a lover ever since I was little. I think, I'm gonna have, if you see me, I'm gonna give you a hug. Watch out. Like that, I'm like, hey, I just like, I'm a big friendly person, and I've always been that type of person. And so I don't know, I think it's, maybe a little bit in me. Sometimes you see kind of those characteristics. So I've always been someone who cares very, very deeply. That's been something ever since, I don't know if you say I was born with it or not, but so it probably stemmed from that, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's very true that when you know what you want, and as you know, as you said, that whatever fascinated you, that how people think, why people behave the way they behave, it's and then you turn that all this curiosity into actually your career or into your personal alignment. So to
Well, one
answer,
thing I'll
okay,
add really quick too.
yeah.
The reason, and I don't tell this story very often, but actually the real reason why I got so fascinated with thought is because my parents got divorced when I was 2. So when I was 2 years old, my parents got divorced and kind of went through like an ugly custody battle till I was like 15 years old. And but growing up as a kid from 2 to 15 until I kind of sorted some things out, I had 2 parents that I knew both loved me, but both those parents, everything they said was contradictory, and it was opposite. And they said, no, you shouldn't think that. And the other parent would say, no, you shouldn't think that. And so as a kid, I was trying to figure that out. And so it wasn't like the greatest situation, to go through as a kid, but it was trying to understand the world. It was really trying. So that's I was kind of like forced into that a little bit, but that's actually what gave me my deep, deep study of thought, of human thought. And so just thought I'd share that.
Yeah, I think actually, what I think is that whatever you think or whatever is happening to you, when you try to give meaning to it, then actually it becomes more meaningful to you, and it has an impact on your career and on others people's life as well. Like whatever is happening to you, maybe like it uh, you may feel some you may face failures or some go through some very difficult times, but actually when you try, just have a pause and just think that what's happening, and then when you try to give the meaning to it, then you realize that everything, that okay, why it's happening, and then you try to make connection, and then you realize exactly that okay, it is happening because it is meant to give you this lesson. And then when you realize this lesson, it has a great impact not only on yourself, it also, because it empowers you to actually take action. And again, and I think that's what you did, that you start sharing whatever confusion you had in the mind, and now you're helping people to come out from that confusion.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
I think that's exactly help people, and I think that's the answer to Shelmy, that it's basically not only all the time upbringing, it's the way we think, and when we try to think that why everything is happening, and then you make all the connections, and then it all contributes that how you can serve yourself and how you can serve others. So
Yep.
I think we answered the question. Yeah. So
Good.
okay, moving on to the discussion further, that basically, as you said, that when people realize their passion, they find the alignment, and then the entire uh, this you can create impact in the world and to serve others. So this, do you think that it is, of course, it's a major thing. A lot of people are actually looking for or are craving for that fulfillment and satisfaction level, right? So
Oh yeah.
what basically is the main hurdle in getting that level of satisfaction and fulfillment? Why do people are unable to find their passion, their alignment, and what exactly is the main, do you think, is the main obstacle in that?
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's funny. So I did a search the other day when I'm always researching. I'm a heavy researcher. You are too, I know.
Yeah.
So I was looking things up and I was searching on Google what what people want most but don't have. What people want most but don't have. And I read like I don't know, like 30 different lists, right? And on number one on almost every single list was happiness.
Okay.
And they say there's a word, the pursuit of happiness, right? And I think the idea of the pursuit of happiness is part of the flaw. I think it's
Yeah.
part of the problem because people think it's outside of them. People think they need to go get it. People think they need to find it, they need to achieve it, they need to, whatever. And that isn't right. And so I think the biggest challenge people have is they just need to get out of the way of themselves. They get out of the way of themselves and they quit confusing trying to bring in happiness as all these other things. Cause then like when you have a thing, then you need another thing to be happy, you know. And so that's not actually happiness. It's a lie. So there's no pursuit. Happiness is inside you. It's inside you already. You have to be the creator of happiness. That's how happiness is made. That's where it comes from. It's not a pursuit,
Yeah.
it's a creation. It comes from you internally. And so people need to get out of the way of themselves. People need to stop confusing themselves. People need to quit taking on marketing, propaganda as personal revelation and realize that they're actually the only ones that can create happiness. And what I mean is if you look at it and you go, okay, what did you get happy about when you were a kid? You got a little toy or a little something. You got so excited, when you got it. And if you got that toy today, you would not be nearly as excited. You might actually be annoyed and you'd throw it away because it would be messy or something like that. And so the same situation, people can go through the same situation in any situation and they can be happy or they can be sad. So it's not what you do. It doesn't matter what you do.
Yeah.
Because I know billionaires that are depressed and suicidal, and I
Yeah.
know people in complete poverty that couldn't be happier and wake up every day with a smile on their face
Yeah.
and love in their heart, and and are healthy, and people love them. You know,
Yeah.
yeah,
Absolutely.
and so people just need to get out of their way. That's it. People confuse life more than we need to. And when we can take the stuff out of the way and start to focus on ourselves, then we can start to make change.
Yeah, that's actually a wonderful explanation about this. That people actually, you know what I feel that main dilemma is that people don't even know what happiness is. They don't know how to define that what actually happiness is. They misjudge happiness with some temporary joys or excitement,
Mhm.
and that's why it is very important to actually know that what is happiness, and the definition of course varies from person to person. Whatever the happiness to you may not be the happiness to me. So they need to find out what is happiness. First of all, a very important question is like, what is happiness to you, and what makes you happy first, then that's how they can actually pursue their actually journey to become happy. Not, as you said, that it shouldn't be a journey to find happiness. It's to become happy,
Yeah.
to discover it from within.
Yep.
So yeah, so
And
I
so,
think
well,
yeah.
and so I want to add this. I would throw this question out there to the audience. because I want everyone out there to think about this. Why do you want what you want in life? So
Yeah.
why? I want everyone out there to ask yourself, why do I want what I want? Why do I want to live in this house? Or why do I want to buy this car? Why do I want to work at this job? Why do I want to have the income that I have? Right? Why do I want to be? Why do I want to live in this city? Why am I even here? Ask yourself, you know, and just check and see, just check in and see, am I living a life for someone else right now? Or am I living a life for me? Like, is this really what I want? Or what, and you can take that and kind of make some evaluations today.
Yeah, it's actually a very thought-provoking question, because a lot of people do, and they don't know what they're doing and why they're doing. And this, when you know why, everything becomes very clear, and it gives you complete direction that why do you want, or why it is everything like it is. So I think this is the question is very, very thought provoking. I hope that it gives our audience a good homework for today to think about that, why they are uh, why they are doing what they are doing right now. So this is a great question. Anyways, we are actually now almost close to the finishing the show. So I would just ask that, what final advice would you like to actually give to our audience today before we actually close the show?
So my advice today, and this is the advice I give a lot of times,
Okay.
and because there's a lot of great information out there in the world. There's amazing information. I have coaching clients. I have a limited number of coaching clients that I work with, some CEOs and things. And I was with one of them, and he said, "Preston," he said, when we meet, he's a really smart guy, and he said, that principle, he's like, he'll always reference it. Oh, I learned that. That's from Jim Brown, or oh, that's from Zig Ziglar, or Napoleon Hill teaches that in this book. And he knows all this information. He knows and he knows and he knows, but it doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
So everyone out there, my advice for you today is take something that we said today. Take one thing that we learned, that you heard, that maybe was a cool idea, and actually go apply it today. Take action today,
Yeah.
because all the ideas are great, but it's meaningless without action. And so I want you all to live, I call it a life of action. So I inspire you, I promote you, I encourage you, and cheer you on to live a life of action. Go and do. Go do something right now when we get off of this meeting that will make a difference or help you to look at something different, or make some change in your life today. And if you make one little change, one little tiny step right now, then one degree different today can put you in a whole different destination next year.
Yeah, definitely. Just one single action actually can change the trajectory of life. So yes, I think they need to take whatever the information, whatever the knowledge you have gathered over the period of time, just take one thing at a time and it start putting it into action. So that's a brilliant advice. So before I close the show, also tell our audience that how they can reach out to you. What is the best way? I know you're very active on LinkedIn and on other social media, I think Insta and Twitter. But the best way is like how they can reach to you.
Yeah, check me out on LinkedIn or visit formulaeq.com. So we run a powerful community of people that get together to live a better life every single week. And so we get together and work on doing that. And it's an incredible global community with amazing, amazing people. And so I invite all of your friends and your listeners to come and visit one time for free if you want to come and see what we're up to and maybe change your life. So come to Formula EQ and visit me, and we'll see what I
Yeah,
can do to
that's
help you.
great. That's great. So whoever has any more question about how they can succeed in their life, just get in touch with Preston through LinkedIn DM or through Formula EQ website. So he will be, I'm sure that he would be able to guide you. So thank you so much for joining today and sharing all the wisdom and experience with our audience today. I'm sure they've learned a lot from you, and thanks to all the audience that who came here and listened to us. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate you all. I love you all. Have an amazing, amazing day. Go take action. Live a life of action.
Okay, great. Thank you. Bye bye.